Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
Well, good evening. I hope everybody is able to stay cool during this especially toasty weekend. I'm Jordan Smith, joined here by meteorologist Matt Gray, who has declared tomorrow to be a weather alert day.
All right, so ironically enough, we're actually getting a lot cooler tomorrow, but the warm weather we're seeing right now is kind of the setup for what's to come, which is now that it's been hot, now that it's been super toasty for a long time, now it's going to get windy, and that means one thing, friends, fire weather. And so that is why we have a weather alert day. Primarily, this is for eastern Washington, but everybody across the inland Northwest, we've got to be fire aware with the windy weather coming in for Monday. And this is going to be all day on Monday. Even in the morning, things are going to be quite gusty, although the humidity will be a little bit nicer. What do we talk about when we talk about fire weather? Well, hot. It's definitely been hot. But we also have windy weather, which is the big reason why we have that weather alert day tomorrow, and dry conditions. And boy, it has been dry lately. There's been barely a drop of rain around the region. So everything coming together tomorrow, even with the temperatures starting to go downhill, which is a welcome relief after today. Look at these temperatures still here at 6 o'clock. 98 in downtown Spokane and in Liberty Lake. 97 in Post Falls. So it has been a real scorcher of a day. We've seen some triple digits from time to time between Spokane and Liberty Lake here in the I-90 corridor. So it was a toasty one today. We're still in the 100s in Lewiston this evening. We're still in the upper 90s as you work your way into central Washington. So not the best porch night. And tomorrow, well, you may be seeing things blow off of your porch as we'll see some gusty winds and that fire threat, even with these temperatures providing some much needed relief. Coming up, we'll talk more about the fire weather concerns that we have and how long some of this cooler weather could be sticking around.
All right, Matt, thanks for that. And the city of Spokane is helping the public to beat the heat this weekend. Several cooling centers are open across the city right now, giving places to cool down to those who need some relief. Our Peter Choi visited one of those cooling centers today and shows us where you can get some help during this summer.
Jordan, I'm here at Spokane Public Library in downtown Spokane, where many people are visiting this cooling center to find ways to cool down from this scorching heat outside. And the center tells me these water bottles are being handed out much quicker than they anticipated.
With temperatures inching towards triple digits, people who are vulnerable in heavy heat are desperately searching for help.
And we were getting constant deliveries from the city, as well as Gatorade electrolyte quencher powder, which is powder that increases the bioavailability of water.
The library assistant, Ashley Locke, says, however, they're dispersing resources out very quickly.
It seems like we're on a busy day, we might run through like a case of waters.
The city of Spokane says public libraries are open for anyone who's seeking relief from hot daytime temperatures.
Library branches are sharing with each other to make sure that all the branches have water.
Another way to avoid heat, the Parks Department suggests the public to stop by the splash pads and pools across Spokane's 19 different parks. STA buses will be offering free rides to those cooling centers if you're unable to pay bus fare. Right now, the city is asking the public to visit these facilities when you need help and is working with community organizations for additional resources. In Spokane, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
Well, those who need a ride to these centers are encouraged to take advantage of the STA's free City Line transportation. The long-awaited City Line bus fleet is up and running here in Spokane. It's an all-electric, emission-free transit system that's been in the works for 10 years, finally open. One of the more appealing benefits of this transit system is the 6-mile route that it covers, connecting riders all throughout downtown. Washington State Patrol believes drug or alcohol were involved in a car crash in Grant County that left 3 people dead. Police say it happened on Highway 26, about 13 miles west of Othello. Investigators say the suspect drove over the center line, crashing head-on into another car. The victim's car fell into a ditch. All 3 victims were pronounced dead at the scene. A child was flown to a Spokane hospital after being injured in a fatal crash in Bonner County yesterday morning. Idaho State Police are investigating the crash between a Subaru Forester and a southbound freight train that killed 2 adults and a minor on the site. According to police, the driver failed to yield to the train. The Idaho Department of Land is asking for your help identifying the cause of the Candle Hill fire in Bayview, Idaho. The fire burned near Farragut State Park near US 95 and Bayview Road. Before crews put it out, it burned around 7 acres. And anyone with any information on how that fire started or photos of the damage is asked to share that with their investigative team. Spokane police are investigating a homicide that happened late Friday night near Franklin Park. Police say they found a man who was injured near North Division and East Crown around 11:30. They tried to treat the man's injuries, but he later died on the scene. Police have not yet released the cause of death, and right now the Major Crimes Unit is investigating this incident as a homicide, but still no additional details have been released. And 4 News Now knows that public safety is a huge priority for our viewers, and it's a major campaign issue for the candidates in the next mayoral election. And as you get ready to cast your vote, we want you to know what's important, and we want to know what's important to you, and including in a public safety plan. So tell us and share your questions with us on KXLY.com, and we'll take those straight to the candidates in our For the People campaign coverage. Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward recently condemned the behavior of former city administrator Johnny Perkins, who resigned after a sexual harassment investigation. The mayor said Perkins allegedly shared intimate details about his relationship to city employees. Woodward said this happened both at the office and after hours on the phone.
The evidence detailed in the report, the HR report, is unacceptable by anyone in the organization.
And Mayor Woodward said that HR report would eventually be released. We put in a public records request. We just have not received it yet. This investigation comes just weeks before the primary election on August 1st, where several candidates, including Mayor Woodward, will be making their case to be Spokane's next mayor. On Twitter, challenger Lisa Brown took aim at Woodward, citing her administration's inability to hire and retain key leaders in City Hall. Woodward has criticized Brown over aggressive tax hikes in her history, like her proposal back in 2009 that would have increased taxes for earnings greater than $250,000. We sat down with Brown and asked if she had plans to raise taxes should she be elected.
Well, let's be clear about taxes. There's one tax on the ballot in November, and it's the jail initiative, and I oppose it.
It's also vying for your vote, like Tim Archer, a conservative candidate endorsed by former Sheriff Ozzie Knezevich and the Spokane Republican Party.
Before we say we don't have enough police or any other resources, we need to empower the ones we have and establish order on our streets. Because right now we have a false perception of a scale of the problem because we do not have law and order on our streets.
And that was in response to us asking how he would address the police shortage. And as for homelessness, Archer wants to make a push for high barrier shelters like the Union Gospel Mission, saying that low barrier shelters are a, quote, cruel enabling of the homeless. And there's still much more to come here after the break. If you're looking to escape the heat, this week's Air for Adventure shows off a city beach in Coeur d'Alene you don't want to miss. And negotiations continue between UPS and Teamsters, while small businesses are scrambling to prepare for the potential strike.
And we are keeping an eye on the fluctuating temperatures here as this hot summer weather continues. We're going to get a break, but the question is for how long? More on that, plus more on the fire danger on its way to our region.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Mechanics Pride.
It's time. Time to let your soul breathe a little, to feel the sun on your face, and to feel alive again. It's time to dust off the clubs, to treat yourself, and test out your lungs. It's time to get away to the place that's not so far away. Lakeside Coeur d'Alene. Find countless ways to play and stay in CDA at visitcda.org.
Things are so awesome since my family got a rewards-earning Kasasa checking account from Canopy Credit Union. We have a cashback account that pays us back 4% on up to $300 worth of debit card purchases. That's up to $12 deposited into our account every month. You know what that means? More toys, more playtime, more fun. Woohoo! Canopy is putting treats back in the budget. Learn more at canopycu.com. Limits and conditions apply.
My parents started their first dealership in Coeur d'Alene in 1983. They took pride in being locally owned and work hard to help this great community we call home.
Now, 3 generations later, we're still proud to be one of the last locally owned Subaru dealerships, and we're working harder than ever to give back to the community that has supported us all these years.
Because we're looking forward to being your local family Subaru dealer for generations to come.
Spokane is my hometown. It's where I built my business and raised my 2 boys. But Spokane has changed, and not all for the better. Brighter days can lie ahead if we have a city council that puts results over political agendas. That's why I will take action to address our homelessness crisis, make affordable housing a priority, and support our police and firefighters to keep our neighborhoods safe. I'm Kim Pleas, running for city council president, and I'm asking for your vote.
Take a day off, skip Mondays, and be water-wise this summer.
Well, it looks like everyone needed to cool off this weekend, including this moose. This afternoon, our own Peter Choi was able to capture this video of a moose in Manitou Park who needed to take a dip in the pond. And I think, Matt, that this moose probably had the right idea. I don't know about you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I know it was right before I left to go to the office today. It was sitting at 97 at my house. So wow. It was toasty out there for sure. And by the way, we have to talk about how we only saw the head of that moose. How deep is that pond there? They're not short animals.
Yeah, at least 8 feet, something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, so
you never think about how deep the Manitou Park pond is. No. So that's my weird thought for the day. We'll get back into the weather now. Here's our highs today around the inland Northwest. Officially at our official station, the West Plains in Spokane, 97, but we did see some areas get into 98, 99, 100 degrees around the metro. 96 in Coeur d'Alene's our high. 104 we got to today in Lewiston, and the place to be, I think that was Sandpoint with a high of 91. Everybody's starting to cool off a little bit now. We are, if you're in the 90s, you're going to stay that way here for probably a couple more hours. We'll be in the 80s as we head towards 9 o'clock, and finally by 11 or midnight we'll drop into the 70s, but it's going to be a long, slow drop with our temperatures. Not quite window open weather, at least not until the very early hours of the morning here. So got some 50s on the map, so that's good. 55 in Pullman. Colville gets down to 53, so there are a few spots that are going to get a little bit of cool, refreshing air during the morning hours. And then here are our highs for tomorrow. Oh man, that is going to be a great relief with low 80s around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Of course, this also comes with fire weather concerns, even with those temperatures cooling off, lots of sunshine. And look at these winds. We're talking about winds consistently about 15 to 20 miles an hour pretty much all day long. And as long as you have those winds, and with how dry everything has gotten, with all of that hot weather we've seen recently, anything that causes a spark, all of a sudden, you've got a lot of acres burning fairly quickly. That's why we're talking about fire weather as we head into tomorrow. The other component to this is going to be humidity. We expect humidity to be in that kind of under 20% range for a good portion of the afternoon. So combine all that together, and you've got this fire weather warning in eastern Washington that will go through 11 p.m. In North Idaho, our humidity a little bit higher. Doesn't quite meet the criteria for fire weather warnings. Either way, everybody has got to be fire weather aware. We got to be careful out there, because the more careful we are, the more alert we are. It's going to help out our fire crews. If anything pops up tomorrow, they're going to have a really difficult day. Cool air shows up, but not for long. And so what do we have? Well, we've got more 90-degree weather. In fact, we'll actually surpass our average here, I think, for the month of July, because look at this: Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and through the weekend, more 90s are coming. I think the bottom line here is Jordan, enjoy Tuesday, because that's the last nice day we're going to get for a little bit.
Yeah, Matt, it's really too bad to see because, well, you know, some of us are preferring to stay inside while it gets hot, Matt. That's not an option for those of us like you with pets. We've got to take them on walks. And when those ambient temperatures reach the mid-90s, the asphalt in the sun, that could be as hot as 138 degrees. So to check if that ground is just too hot, make sure to press the back of your hand against it for about 7 seconds. If it's too hot for your hand, it is too hot for their paws. So instead of walking on the sidewalk, maybe go for a stroll in the grass where it is much, much cooler. And the weather is going to be perfect to pack the kids in the car and maybe go for a swim at the Coeur d'Alene, or at the City Beach in Coeur d'Alene. In this week's Air 4 Adventure, we're giving you a bird's eye view of one of the most beautiful swimming spots in our area.
Coeur d'Alene, Idaho, City Beach. This is like our fourth family reunion. We kind of have all our family come out from California and Texas, and we just love Coeur d'Alene. This feels like you're at the ocean. It's just, the town is beautiful. Everything is so inviting. You've got the parks. My husband has a jet ski over at one of the docks. Like, we can just do everything together. My kids and their cousins talk about this every year. They can't wait to come here for the summer to Coeur d'Alene. They love it.
I do have good memories of this lake. In the 70s, there was an amusement park right here and an arcade, and it was called Barbary Coast. And there was docks that went out and round like a horseshoe shape. And it was the best time of our life. I brought my kids, now my grandkids, and we just love it. We love to walk down into Coeur d'Alene, get lunch, come back and do some more swimming. My favorite place in the world. This is where I feel the most spiritual, and I just love it.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Well, looks like our surgery patient is feeling better today.
Yep, I didn't need any oxy today. I thought I'd do a little surgery on the drain.
Huh. Do you need your pain pills anymore?
No.
Well, we should get them out of the house. There are places to drop them off.
Yeah, okay. Actually, I can do that right now.
And I will look at the drain.
Prevent opioid misuse. Find safe medication return options near you.
As state senator, Lisa Brown increased taxes by $2 billion while raising her own pay. Under her watch, homelessness rose by 25,000. Now she's backed by the Defund the Police crowd. Lisa's soft on crime, hard on taxpayers.
I pledge to increase police presence and tackle homelessness, and we have. Our Violent Crimes Task Force has lowered crime rates, and we're compassionately addressing homelessness. We're exceptional, Spokane. I'll keep it that way. I'm Nadine Woodward, and I approve this message.
What's in a name? A question that has never had more relevance. First American Title has been rebranded to Flying S Title and Escrow. Since 1905, we've been helping people protect their property rights. When the time comes to choose a title insurance and escrow company, the choice is clear: Flying S Title and Escrow. Idaho's longest operating, family-owned title and escrow company is now Flying S Title and Escrow. We're not new, but our name is.
Water is an essential part of our everyday lives. It's important that Spokane acts wisely to preserve our precious water resources and not waste money on evaporation and the need for supplemental water infrastructure due to a burdened aquifer. Please avoid watering your lawn between the hours of 10 a.m. and 6 p.m. and limit watering to under 2 hours a day, 3 days a week. If we all do our part, we'll keep our river flowing strong, even in times of drought.
Coeur d'Alene Casino presents the Core Stars Entertainment Series. Join us as we celebrate our 30-year anniversary with an amazing lineup of the hottest entertainment. See comedian Jeff Foxworthy on Thursday, July 27th. Don't miss an evening with Night Ranger on Thursday, August 24th. Plus, join us for King of the Cage on Thursday, September 14th. For tickets, visit the casino box office or cdacasino.com. Coeur d'Alene Casino, welcome home.
Many small business owners are growing anxious as UPS workers near a potential walkout. ABC's Jay O'Brien has more on what would be the largest single employer strike in U.S. history.
This morning, with contract negotiations stalled between shipping giant UPS and the Teamsters Union, fears a potential strike could hit small businesses hard.
We ship a lot.
Maggie Kalpin, owner of gourmet gift basket store Nibbles and Bits, says a strike would throw the thousands of packages she ships through her local UPS store into upheaval.
I'm nervous. A lot of the time we're locked in for free shipping because we order in such bulk. That might stop now.
A 10-day UPS strike could be the costliest in U.S. history, totaling an estimated $7 billion, according to a research firm that studies labor disputes. Teamsters, which represent roughly 350,000 UPS workers, already marching in what are called practice picket lines. Last month, union workers voted overwhelmingly to authorize a strike starting August 1st if there's no agreement. Teamsters' demands include better pay, an increase in full-time jobs, and for the company to address health and safety concerns, including the sweltering heat inside delivery vehicles. The union accusing UPS of walking away from the bargaining table.
We work long hours, we work strenuous hours out in the crazy heat, the cold, all conditions. We made the company a lot of money over the last 5 years. So I would just ask them to come to the table.
But in a statement to ABC News, UPS says they've already made historic proposals and blamed the union for refusing to negotiate, adding, "We have not walked away and the union has a responsibility to remain at the table." Margaret Barrow, owner of New York City-based snack maker It's Nola, now racing to find other delivery options if a UPS union deal falls through.
It's going to significantly impact how much money I'm going to have to spend in looking for alternative shipping prices. I've already started looking at that, and it doesn't look very good.
A local Indigenous graduate is planning to use her degree to help people living on Native American reservations. Our Sydney Charles brings us her story and tells us how COVID-19 played a role in shaping her career goals.
Marianne Matheson wanted to become a teacher, but the pandemic threw a wrench in that plan.
Within my community that I grew up on, it seemed there were shortages of just doctors and nurses. During the pandemic, that got even harder.
Marianne spent most of her childhood on the Colville Reservation.
Grew up there and I was working there, and it just seemed like we really needed more people there. I just had a bigger calling to nursing.
According to the Johns Hopkins School of Nursing, the public health nursing workforce has been at a standstill for decades. There's roughly one nurse for every 1,000 people on reservation-based communities. Marianne believes more nurses who understand these communities are essential.
I just feel like we need more healthcare workers that actually know the culture of the reservation and understand the people.
She decided to enroll in classes right here at Spokane Falls Community College. While at SFCC, Marianne took different classes like anatomy and biology. She even became the president of the Red Nations Club, a group designed to uplift the Native community on campus.
The land that this school is built on is tribal land. I just wanted to have a presence at this school.
It didn't matter if anyone else showed up for any event, she was always there. We actually, as a club, probably weren't able to do everything we did without her.
She's most proud of the fact that her son got to see her walk across the stage at graduation.
That was important to me because I want my son to see that with any amount of hard work that he puts in, he's going to get some good results out of it.
Now, this grad hopes to be accepted into a nursing program at a local university so she can stay close to family and use her degree to help others living on the very same reservations she grew up on.
I want to be a person that understands the people and the needs and wants to stay.
In Spokane, I'm Sydney Charles, 4 News Now.
A great story by our Sydney Charles. And more women across the country are returning to the workforce. That's according to the Labor Department. It's a rebound after COVID forced many women, especially moms, to switch careers or stop working to take care of their families. So what are women doing in the Inland Northwest to get back into the workforce?
They actually brought up how you use ChatGPT or AI to, plug in your resume, the job description and kind of get it that way too.
Our Kirsten O'Connor spoke with a local women about these obstacles and surprising opportunities that they found. That's coming up in Kirsten's special report tomorrow on 4 News Now at 6.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Great Northwest Gathering Auto Show.
America, it's the Discover Summer Sales Event. Choose from a great selection of Ford trucks and SUVs equipped with the tech and comfort you need. Lock in great rates and get $1,000 trade assist cash on a 22 Escape or 23 Bronco Sport, only at your local Ford dealer.
The festival at Sandpoint is back for its 40th annual Summer Series. Celebrate with live music on the lake and under the stars. This year's headliners include Britt Floyd, Gary Clark Jr., Train with Better Than Ezra, The String Cheese Incident, Michael Fronte and Spearhead with Soja, REO Speedwagon with Charlie Farron, Ashley McBride, and the grand finale, The Princess Bride in concert. Tickets are selling fast. Visit festivalatsandpoint.com to get your tickets today.
Driving safely is all about the little things, like giving folks a break, even at unmarked crosswalks, making plenty of space for people riding, and choosing to wait for the next green light by slowing down and stopping on yellow. Because when you're the biggest and the fastest, you've got to be the safest, too. Together, we get there.
Looking for high quality and low prices? Then Furniture Row's Super 7-Day Sale is for you. That's 7 days where everything is on sale. Shop today and find huge savings on sofas and sectionals, accent chairs and recliners, dining groups, bar stools, bedrooms and kids' beds, mattresses, and sleep accessories. Plus, no interest financing until January 2027. Shop the largest selection at the lowest prices guaranteed. But don't wait. The Super 7-Day Sale at Furniture Row ends Thursday the 20th.
Don't miss the $50,000 Sunday hot seats at Northern Quest. That's Sunday with an E on the end and a cherry on top. It's a play on words. July, Sunday, hot seats, you get the idea. And it's happening noon to 4 p.m. every Sunday with a Y in July. Don't overthink it. Just swipe your Camus card and be playing your favorite machine when your name is called. The $50,000 Sunday with an E hot seats every Sunday with a Y in July. Only at Northern Quest.
America, come along with our adventure seekers, the Sanchez family, and discover summer with the Ford F-150. Lease a well-equipped 2023 F-150 for just $399 a month, only at your local Ford dealer.
Nice to see some 80s on there. There are a lot of 90-degree days coming up, and we had a similar stretch like here about a week ago. It looks like this one could be even longer, where we may have 90-degree temperatures extending through next weekend and even into Monday of next week. So they talk about the dog days of summer. We're certainly getting into those right now.
Yeah, you know, Matt, I've seen a lot of those ads for those maybe ice baths that you can buy for your backyard. Might be a really good investment for this summer.
I think so. A pool of any kind might be a good investment this year.
Just ask that Moose. You had the right idea. We'll see you tonight.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.